I just want to start with, I don't want to make this video. I don't see the point. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but it is one hell of a tale, and boy do I love a good tale. Just to catch you up real quick on the real estate drama that has been my life for the last 6 months. In November last year, we were issued with a rent raise of $70 per week. That was to be expected with the rising cost of living and rents going up all over the place. It sucks, but there's not much you can do about it. So already low income and struggling, an extra $70 on the rent, gold. We decide we're gonna pay it, we're gonna stay here, cool. Then a month later, we get another rental increase notice, another $50 on top of the increase that had already gone into effect. So we get back in contact and say, hey, actually we already had the rent increase, so that's it. They reply with the most nonsensical reply ever, which is, the rent will remain as per the notice. All right. Now skip forward a couple of months. We get a follow-up just to remind you that the rent is going up that extra $50. And we respond again, no. You can't raise the rent more than once in a 12-month period on a periodical. It's against the law. Didn't get a response to that one. 2 days after that, we were served with an eviction notice, 90 days to get out. The entire building was also served with eviction notices, and all the other tenants have moved out of the apartment. Whether they knew their rights that they could go on to NCAT, or they just did not have the time or energy to fight, was the case of the rest of the neighbors. So we took on the good fight. So we'll take it to NCAT. Now, NCAT is the New South Wales tribunal of real estate affairs. Every state has their different version of it. Like in Victoria, it's VCAT. So the first meeting with NCAT, as the applicant, you're meant to meet with the respondent and try and come to like a mutual agreement together. So we went into that, and the facilitator spoke to me like I was a fucking idiot for the entire time and basically treated me as the respondent. So fantastic experience there. They were offering 2 weeks rent free and still get out. Now, before we go on, I should let you know here that the real estate has never conducted a periodical inspection, addressed any of the repairs that have been needed since the condition report was sent back 2 days after we moved in here. And there was one incident where they ordered exterior works to the property without notifying any of the residents. And at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, my husband and I were woken up to the sound of a fucking angle grinder right above our heads and an old man looking in at us in bed. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, $450 a week for this. Toilet held together with gaffer tape. Security plus. You can have a bath in 8 years. Mold. So feeling really rejected after the first NCAT experience, we decide to take it to hearing because we haven't come to a conclusion and there's nothing we can do. Now, the thing they don't tell you about NCAT is that you're going to have to provide all the evidence, documentation, and proof that they're lying. It's like victim services all over again. Also, get ready to learn how to format a legal document you don't want to, and then revise it 3 times. All 72 pages. A 2-hour meeting with legal aid. Props to Marrickville Legal Aid, by the way. You are the only helpful people during this entire process. NCAT has given me a 2-week deadline to get all the evidence and all those documents in. I kill myself to make sure it's all perfect and get it in on time. So after that, The real estate is meant to have 2 weeks to respond. They got their shit back the day before the NCAT hearing. The day before. But now we get on to the really good bit. Are you ready for it? This is fantastic. So the day of the hearing, we go into the hearing room, the member introduces themselves. Now, the representative of the real estate agency has turned up, and it becomes very evident very quickly they have no authority to make any decisions or calls on this matter whatsoever. So the member calls the landlord, and get this, the landlord is the owner and CEO of our real estate agency. Yeah, so the call was actually fantastic. So member rings up, the receptionist is like, "Hi, can I help you? Hello, this is member so-and-so, I need to speak with blah." And the receptionist starts panicking. She's like, "Oh my God, okay, hold." And hold music. "He's not available at the moment. Can I take a message?" Yeah, there's an NCAT situation going on right now. So look, if you just want me to rule without him, that's absolutely fine. "Oh, hang on, I'll try." More hold music. The member is getting really fucking pissed by this point because it's just fucking around. Finally, Mr. Landlord CEO gets on the phone, and boy, is he in a great mood. He doesn't even know the NCAT is happening today, that he would potentially have been called to provide any kind of evidence on it. So member starts the proceedings, starts asking him all the questions, and he's becoming quite agitated by this point. So the member was fantastic. She was actually kind of guiding us towards the right answer because legally there was not much she could actually do in this situation. We're in a fucking checkmate altogether. We only ask for another 90 days to get out. That's all we're asking for. Oh, no. That is too much. We had to beg for 60 days, another 60 days. Oh, it doesn't end there. So the member's got to pull some more things up on the table so that the agreement looks good to both parties. They're coming up with some more, like, to make it more beneficial for us to get out and, you know, just so it looks a little bit more fair and all that. So the member suggests, look, why don't we release your bond early so you can at least have some money to fucking pay for a bond for the next place? And Mr. Landlord CEO really loses his shit at that suggestion. Here are some choice phrases he came up with during the next little bit. "Never in my 27 years of being a property manager of over 5,000 properties have I ever heard of a bond being released early. They're going to damage my place." I slid in here and got a sneaky, "We wouldn't because we're not dodgy. Also, we understand the ways of the street. We understand you don't have the ability to help us, but we very much understand you have the ability to punish us. So no, I'm not gonna fucking damage your property on the way out." Now bear in mind, this bond is lodged with fair trading. It's my money. I paid it at the beginning of the residency. And then my very favorite bit. "Property managers have no right these days. Fine, just give the tenants whatever they want. Do they want a home-cooked meal as well? They want their shoes shined? Their removalist costs paid for them?" Oh yeah, I am not kidding you. A man who, in his picture on the company website, is wearing a watch that is worth more than I will ever earn in my entire life is having an adult tantrum to basically a judge. So literally everyone in the room is listening to this gem of a human on speakerphone having this tantrum, and we're all looking at each other like, is this like actually happening? Even the representative who was there, and then the final stab, this guy on the phone says to the representative, "Come and see me as soon as you get back to the office." I was so glad I was not that guy. So after 6 months of dealing with all this stress, applying for over 40 rental properties, spending every single spare minute that I have going to inspections, applying for places, getting rejected so much I feel like I'm on a dating app. It turns out none of those applications have gotten past our real estate because they will not get back in touch with them to provide a reference. And in this tight rental market, they're just going to move on to the next applicant, someone who's got their shit together. So we're in a checkmate. They have to help us out if they want us out. So what we ended up with from this entire experience was another 60 days to get out, 24 hours to provide a glowing positive reference to give to other real estate agents. Our bond released today. It's now 4 days later, and have any of those things been done? No. Bearing in mind, we have literally not asked for anything else, despite the fact that we don't have the money to move. And we've been put in this position with no choice. So I'm just wondering at this point how any of this is fucking fair. How is it not a conflict of interest for the owner of a company to own the properties that they manage, so that not only do they get the agent's fee, they can raise the rent as much as they like because they are profiting from it? We have paid rent on time every time since the beginning of our tenancy, and despite no repairs being done and multiple breaches of lease, this is the reward we get for following the rules. So I just want to hear you say it, just for my own benefit, that money is more important than providing a basic human need. And just to end this all up, I just want to add that I'm disabled. I'm on disability. You have made a disabled person homeless. How do you sleep at night? I should actually be in the hospital right now, but I can't because I have 56 days until I'm homeless. And even when we do find a place, I have to get through the next step of DIY moving our shit. So yeah, Mr. Property Manager and CEO, I do want a fucking home-cooked meal and my shoes shined. It's the least you could fucking do.